you have to believe in some kind of other force occasionally, because the way that I came together with Richard Wally was originally through art. I was doing an art project, Nomad Two Worlds, and asked Richard to collaborate. And through Richard, met Steve, and it's a triangle formed.
Well, what brings us all together is probably what we call probably similar and collective consciousness.
This is about opportunity, and we all see the same thing: opportunity for everybody. I come from a creative background, and one of the best things that happened to me was a person called Joyce Lanigan, who was heading the business at a major legal firm in Western Australia, come to me and join and said, "I will be the business part of what you're doing." And one of the first things she did, she said, "I want you to meet Atlas Pearls. I want you to meet Steve Birkbeck and have a discussion, because we are going heavily into the fragrance business." What seemed entirely irrational, a pearling company and a branding company like ours coming together to create a fragrance, is entirely logical when you dig deeper.
And I think it's quite funny because working with Russell and then working with Steve, there's a lot of similarities between their personalities, and sometimes I feel I'm more like their mother than the CEO.
I mean, it's been a long 18 months in terms of getting the prudential aspects of this investment sorted out, getting all the legalities. I mean, this joint venture is a partnership between Nomad Two Worlds and Atlas South Sea Pearls. This is the literal bond between the three separate parties. So Atlas South Sea Pearls, ourselves, combining with Nomad Two Worlds, Russell James, and Richard Wally and the Noongar community of Western Australia in the southwest, but also far more. It symbolises far more.
The raw spirit's been around for thousands of years, and it's also been in the general public domain for quite a few years as well. Some people have actually had extracts from it for quite a while. So that's the beauty. It's not what we call a classical perfume or a classical essential oil. It's got its own character. It's got its own what you call texture and flavours.
But I would have to say myself and Steve are actually incredibly aligned from a business perspective. We both come from a place of wanting to do something that is not just about making money, but about doing it in a way that is fair to everybody that we're involved with.
This has been the hardest, most incredibly difficult extraction technically that I've ever encountered. And that's what this is. It's a perfume that's been extracted from the pearl. And the colour of that perfume, as you can see, it's milky. It's a pearl milk. So we've actually been the first company in the world to even think about doing this. Not a matter of we're definitely the first company to have extracted perfume from a pearl.
It smelled like the sea to me. He added to that a moisturising delivery system, and I said, we have a global product here that is very authentic.
And from a marketing point of view, we're able to sell perfume into the jewellery industry as a consequence.
And we just saw this massive potential to create a fragrance and a young pearl opportunity for a younger market, and to transfer the pearl idea or the notion of the pearl from being this something a grandmother hands down to her mother into something that's young and alive and a living microorganism.
We're making a really bold move as a stock exchange company here in Australia. We've been recognised in our country, in Australia, in the pearling industry as a leader in our game.
Secrets don't take too long to get out, but new movements, new ways are always ahead. And I think that's the answer is to don't be afraid of the unknown.
So why would you join Pearls and Perfumes? If you look at the common denominator of anyone in business, they have a customer. And interestingly, when you look at the demographics and control and the power within the jewellery brands of the world, many of them make perfume and pearls. So in terms of corporate social responsibility, we should unashamedly point out the benefits we get commercially from any engagement we have with communities. As long as that work is non-exploited, and as long as that work is a win-win, then the Indigenous communities themselves, they want us to succeed, because it's companies like ours that are making that effort, that if we succeed, the communities succeed. And so Richard and myself did something really simple. The Songman Circle of Wisdom protocol is the simplest of protocols. It just asks companies that use traditional plants to pay royalty on a voluntary basis.
So, for me, going to Indonesia is about connecting what has become this amazing initiative around the pearl, but connecting back to the humanity of it and the people and the families that are involved.
That's success. And on the back of that, if that success means that we've kept people in jobs that would ordinarily not have those jobs, and we've given them a sense of self-respect and an opportunity to be an economic equal in this world, well, that's exactly where I want to be.
I'm trying to capture that message and reflect that message into our brand values. And if we can do that, if our brand can reflect that we're a pioneer of social change, and if we can communicate that to the business community and get others to follow us, then it's a job well done.